All right, click the links to get a hold of me in order to support my vitally important work on this channel. Before I get into this article, these are the people who are lecturing us. These people. I started to make the video on George Clooney's latest smarmy douchebaggery, but I realized that that was not going to work for YouTube 2020. This is a much different platform than it used to be. A much lamer one. So Hollywood is in trouble. Good. Without the theaters, they lose a lot of their power to brainwash us. Once the industry changes over to the smaller budget, small screen, you're going to get a lot of little movies for the various platforms, which is great because it means people will be on different pages with the propaganda. Usually that is a bad thing, but it's good because Hollywood is absolute cancer, whose only goal is to spread the disease while making money. Anything that lessens their influence is a good thing. And I know YouTube is not kind to channels that speak against the narrative, but F Hollywood. They're a bunch of kitty-diddling, degenerate parasites who covered up for Roman Polanski and Weinstein. They literally are rape apologists. There goes the algorithm. Why would I want George Clooney to lecture me on morality? You guys are Epstein Island types. You don't have the right to lecture us about anything. The one I was talking about was former Batman actor George Clooney. He's done more movies than just that. Says race is America's great original sin. I started to talk about that, and I realized it would have been the last video for YouTube. Warner Brothers announced that in 2021 they're going to be streaming everything, starting with Wonder Woman 1984, that has the theaters a little bit nervous. Yeah, they should be, because you have to use something for something, and a theater is pretty much only good as a theater. So you can't really rent it out for things without ripping up the seats and changing the structure of it, which you're going to have to just sell those to businesses and turn them into something else. With this announcement, future releases including Godzilla vs. Kong, Suicide Squad 2, Dune, The Matrix 4, oh god, that's going to suck dirty vag, will premiere both in theaters on HBO Max for a limited 1 month window. Yeah, that's the end of the theaters right there. James Gunn. Isn't he the guy who made jokes about diddling children? Yeah, he is. He is that guy. In a statement, Warner Media Sarnoff told the Hollywood Reporter Studios' new release initiative was a reaction to unprecedented times. No shit. As reality is that most theaters in the U.S. will likely operate at reduced capacity through 2021. Why? Theaters, can't we just admit that this is all a little bit fake and bundle of sticky? Like, theaters have a lot of volume. There's a lot of overhead. There's a lot of, physical dimensions of the theater are quite large. You could build, air pumps to pump out the air in the theater. You could have people wear N95s, not just dust masks. You got to wear N95s, or a free N95 comes with the ticket or something like that. There is, you can have a great home theater system, but there's no equivalent to watching a movie at the theater, because there's no distractions. You're not checking your phone in the theater because it's rude. You're just watching the movie. With this unique 1-year plan, we can support our partners in exhibition with a steady pipeline of world-class films, while also giving moviegoers who may not have access to theaters or aren't quite ready to go back to the movies the chance to see our amazing 2021 propaganda. We see it as a win-win for film lovers, except it's not really a win for the theaters, which how long can you afford to have a property go empty that you can't rent out really for anything? Not long. You got to sell it to turn into office space or something. This move has been met with criticism and outrage from across the industry as both... Okay, so this is an entire sea change of an industry. And instead of these $200 to $300, $400 million huge films that can only recoup their money in theaters, you're going to see a lot of $50 million films, which you can make a pretty good movie for $50 million, because you're going to have to sell it to, Disney Plus or some streaming service. And the thing is, you're not selling individual tickets. You're selling a rental of the movie for 24 hours. And it's like, well, you can fill your living room with people. We've done it often enough to watch a movie that, whatever it costs. They're not gonna rent it for $100. Nobody's gonna pay that. There's probably gonna be more like, I don't know, $40, and you're just gonna get a bunch of people. Took Warner to task on this personal Twitter. We care so much. Sharing his publication's article and writing, Warner Brother can call this unique one-year plan, but don't kid yourself. This is the plan for the future. Yeah, probably. Good. F Hollywood. In particular, AMC theaters aren't happy either, as the theater chain fired back their own statement to Deadline, acknowledging their agreement to such a release system for one film only, Wonder Woman 84, being released. Wonder Woman was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't as good as people seem to think it was, but it's for DC. It's like, oh, it was better than the recent DC movies. Yeah, that doesn't mean it was great. It was still just a CGI mess. Criticizing how Warner now hopes to do this for all 2021 and the future. You're not gonna sell that property to somebody else and then create new theaters. I think theaters are probably over. So no, I don't expect them to recover. And this is going to lessen the influence of Hollywood and movies in general, which is good because, like I said, before, in the 90s, before, I don't know, the internet really blew up in the early 2000s, people were on the same page, culturally speaking, and you think, oh, well, that's a good thing. No, because the people who control the narrative are absolute monsters. Like, there was a time in the 90s when everyone was watching Friends and Frasier and there was all these shows that they're so dumb. They're so freaking dumb. They did not age well. You look at them now and you realize, this is dumb. All this stuff is for idiots. It's just by idiots for idiots. Or it's by people who are laughing at you, not with you type of thing. There's a weird venom in these shows. It's like there's like an undercurrent of creepiness into all this stuff. Now everyone's on a different page because it's like, oh, did you see Friends last night? Oh no, I don't have Hulu or something. I've got Disney Plus and Amazon and a couple Netflix. It's like, so I'm watching whatever is on those shows. I don't really watch a whole lot of anything. So everyone is going to be on a different page, which is good because it makes it harder to spread propaganda, and it makes it better for us because we're able to counter the narrative by doing our DLive, our BitChutes, our YouTube type of thing. You're going to sacrifice a lot of profitability, but you're going to have smaller movies, which is fine. I mean, you can make good movies, and maybe there'll be more incentive for smaller filmmakers, more stuff like Clerks, which was brilliant. Actually, that was the Weinstein Company. I remember Kevin Smith talking about they screened Clerks for Weinstein, and they heard him laughing in the back. It's like he got the movie made, so it's like, oh, well, Clerks was very, very good. But anyway, Kevin Smith's a good guy. He's just kind of a dopey, pot-smoking guy who just cries at the drop of the hat. He cries over movies, and whenever he reviews a film, he reviews Star Wars. And even people who like him are in the comments saying, dude, stop shilling for Star Wars, please. Not every movie you watch is brilliant. It doesn't have to move you to tears. You're just a dopey stoner who, like, we all like, but we realize he's not the guy to go to for movie reviews. Neither is Zach. In closing, they expressed their optimism towards growing reports of a viable Wu-Flu treatment. You guys can get in line for that. I think I'm actually going to pass on that one. They want certain people to get that treatment first. Go ahead. It's all yours, guys. I'm gonna hold off on that one. I want it to be out for like 20 years before I take a look at it. As this issue gets sorted out, what issue? It's like 99.99%. If you're under 75. It's just a freaking flu. Stop with this nonsense. I know it's political purposes, but you guys won. You got Trump out of office. And so when Biden takes office, when Kamala takes office, the flu is magically going to disappear? Yeah, probably. So you're saying it was BS the whole time? Yeah, pretty much. Didn't China have bodies dropping in the street? What happened to them? What happened to those bodies that were in the street? Was it an op from the beginning? What happened to the Chinese people they were all dressed in hazmat suits and they were gassing these streets as they walked by, and there were just videos of bodies laying in the street? Well, here's the truth about China. People die of heart attacks, they die of car accidents. Nobody will help anyone in China because the government may hold you liable. If someone has a heart attack on the street in China, they're going to lay there and die. Nobody performs CPR. I know this sounds crazy if you don't understand China. Or nobody will call for help for someone, a car accident victim who's laying on the sidewalk bleeding. They'll just continue to run them over or drive around them if they see them, because the government will literally try to hold those people liable. It sounds crazy. You can look it up for yourself. I swear it's true. So those bodies in the street, I'm assuming they weren't from this thing, this Wu flu thing. I think they were just people who had heart attacks. That's how it rolls in China. Anyway, I realize this is a weird video. I will see you. Like, comment, subscribe, guys. Maybe not to this video. But I'll see you guys next episode.